Done with FMS SOP? If not, then worry not. In this session, we are going to discuss very important elements with respect to SOP. SOP होता क्या है, कैसे बनाते हैं, what are do's and don'ts of SOPs, how do you differentiate yourself with other candidates, and also talking about specific categories. For example, engineers, non-engineers, freshers, work experience, family business, everybody. So if you've not submitted your FMS SOP, make sure that you watch this session and take your notes and improve your pointers before you submit. I'm hoping that you're all doing great. Welcome everybody to the MBA Litmus channel. This is your friend and guide Sudhanshu Cat 99.7 Quads 100 I am Lucknow. In this season, we've seen more than 1,000 answers of people from MBA Litmus and otherwise. And we have also collected some core elements that we want to talk about in this session. सबसे पहले SOP के बारे में बात करते हैं. What is an SOP? A statement of purpose is primarily representative of what you have done so far, what are you going to do an MBA for, and how do you pace in the future. So that's the connection that you build in an SOP. एक सिंपल चीज समझ, बहुत सारे आंसर जो हमने देखे उसमें हमें रियलाइज हुआ कि लोग पूरी जन्म गाथा लिख रहे हैं, जन्म से लेके अभी तक सब कुछ नहीं लिखना है आपको. यू हैव टू नॉट प्रेजेंट अ मूवी, इट्स जस्ट अ ट्रेलर. ठीक है, तो आपको सिर्फ ट्रेलर दिखाना है और कहानी अच्छी लगनी चाहिए ट्रेलर से. ये बहुत जरूरी है. कहानी में कुछ अलग होना चाहिए, ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि पुष्पा 2 का ट्रेलर देख रहे हैं, राइट? सो इट शुड a differentiating story. It should be something unique about yourself. जरूरी नहीं है कि यूनिक फैक्टर लेट्स से एल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन या डॉक्टर एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम लेवल का हो. छोटा सा यूनिक डिफरेंशिएटर भी काफी है. फॉर एग्जांपल, आई हैव बीन academically consistent, I can build up on it. I have led teams, I can build up on my leadership learnings or the elements that I have learned. ठीक है, अपने आप को हीरो नहीं बनाना है, अपने आप को एक केपेबल ह्यूमन बताना है एसओपी में. दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट. आई एम होपिंग कि ये सब कुछ एनेक्डोट से क्लियर हुआ होगा. लेट मी क्विकली टॉक अबाउट सम की डोंट्स इन अ एसओपी. सबसे पहला, स्टे अवे फ्रॉम चैट जीपीटी. चैट जीपीटी किल्स योर इंडिविजुअलिटी. बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि मैं थॉट प्रोसेस मेरा है लेकिन मैं एसओपी फ्रेम करा रहा हूँ चैट जीपीटी से. डज नॉट वर्क दैट वे. इट किल्स योर लैंग्वेज, इट किल्स द वे यू स्पीक एंड तुम्हारा इंडिविजुअलिटी मर जाता है. तो आपको चैट जीपीटी नहीं करना है, आप अपना आंसर खुद से लिखो एंड ग्रामर आप उसका चेक कर सकते हो. देयर आर एप्स टू चेक ग्रामर. सो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच यू कैन डू. दैट इज वन. सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट इज डू नॉट क्रॉस द वर्ड लिमिट. आपके 1000 कैरेक्टर्स का लिमिट है, वर्ड्स का नहीं. तो 1000 कैरेक्टर्स का लिमिट आपको ब्रीच नहीं करना है. It can be 930, it can be 960, it can be 970, it cannot be 1030, right? Remember that part is very important. Again, don'ts में ये कहूंगा कि जब आप आंसर लिख रहे हैं, डू नॉट मेक वेग जेनेरिक आंसर्स. ठीक है, उसके अंदर कई बार लोग बोलते हैं कि मैं बचपन से मैनेजमेंट में इंटरेस्टेड था. बचपन में हम फ्रूटी पी रहे थे, रसना पी रहे थे, हाजमोला खा रहे थे, हम मैनेजमेंट में इंटरेस्टेड नहीं थे. बी रियल, डोंट ट्राई टू ओवर प्रोजेक्ट योर सेल्फ. ठीक है, बचपन में हम ये सब कुछ नहीं सोच रहे थे. ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग, मैक्सिमम लोगों ने ग्रेजुएशन के टाइम पे सोचा होगा या कई लोगों ने उसके बाद. ठीक है, तो जो लोग इंटरव्यू कर रहे हैं वो भी इंसान ही है. एंड मेक श्योर दैट यू आर नॉट ट्राई टू फूल देम और ब्लफ. ओके, दैट इज अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो लेट मी नाउ क्विकली टॉक अबाउट द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ एफएमएस एसओपी. एफएमएस के अंदर स्कोर्स आने के बाद 10th 12th एनीवेज आप इम्पैक्ट नहीं कर सकते. आपका फाइनल सिलेक्शन रिजेक्शन कई बार 1% 2% के डिफरेंस पे हो जाता है एंड एसओपी 10% का वेटेज लेके चलता है. तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट है दोस्तों. एंड व्हाट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर दिस 10 मार्क्स, हाउ डू आई गेट दिस 10 मार्क्स? बाय गुड स्टोरी टेलिंग. रिमेंबर, स्टोरी टेलिंग इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. ये आपको मैनेजमेंट के अंदर भी सीखना है और उसके अंदर जाने से पहले आपको डेमोन्स्ट्रेट भी करना है, राइट? सो दैट इज वन थिंग विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो 10% वेटेज है. डू नॉट लेट गो ऑफ दिस वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डिफरेंशिएटिंग फैक्टर, राइट? नाउ लेट मी टॉक अबाउट अ जनरल एसओपी फॉर्मेट. स्ट्रक्चर कैसा होना चाहिए? बहुत सिंपल. राइट नाउ लेट्स से आई एम वर्किंग समवेयर, आई एम लर्निंग समथिंग, आई वांट टू बिल्ड अपॉन इट, especially from a managerial standpoint. Say I have developed a keen interest in marketing, I can build upon it. Let's say that I would want to build a career in the field of operations or supply chain, I can build upon it, right? Do not think that FMS is just a marketing campus. It's absolutely bullshit. A good campus specializes in all the domains. That's the speciality of a good college. So you'll get good finance also, you'll get good marketing also, you would get good other domains also, right? So do not think that I have to do only marketing, I have to present only marketing because I am creating FMS. It has to align with my goals, my objectives. Okay, sit down, introspect and think, if I keep the money factor aside, why would you want to do an MBA, right? I'm pretty sure you would want to see yourself in a certain field, let's say a marketing or a finance, or you'd want to imagine yourself, let's say taking up senior leadership roles. What exactly do you want to do? Do you want to get into strategy? You want to get into marketing or finance or operations? Try and delve a little deeper. But remember, when you get inside the interview, they're not going to ask you very heavy marketing questions. You've not studied marketing. तुम marketing पढ़ने जा रहे हो. तुम marketing अगर पढ़ चुके होते तो तुम्हें जाने की जरूरत नहीं होती. And therefore it is important to understand is कि थोड़ा basic brush up करने से काम हो जाएगा before the interview. You can build a good story right now. ठीक है, बट स्टोरी के अंदर जो पंचेस है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होने चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि एक दिन मैं सोया हुआ था, सपने में मैंने देखा कि मार्केटिंग, तो मैं मार्केटिंग में आ गया. मुझे मेरे पापा का सपना है, मेरी मम्मी का सपना है, कुछ नहीं. I need tangible reasons. For example, let's say I did an internship. Okay, I did a 2 months internship. I was doing digital marketing or social media marketing, and it was completely intuition based. Okay, I was either following the orders or I was driven by intuitions. I was not really able to make sure as to what should be my next step because I'm not formally trained in the field of marketing. Also, management seemed very interesting. I am really curious, but I do not know how do I take it forward. I want to build a career in the field of marketing. I want to be a senior leadership position in future, wherein I'm taking senior roles, strategic decisions. But before that, I really want to get my hands dirty, get on the ground, understand consumers, understand the market, take marketing decisions, build marketing campaigns, and that is how you can build your answer. Make a dynamic answer, do your research, do introspection, talk to a lot of people, don't sit inside your shell. That is not how you create an SOP. I'm hoping that part is clear to everybody. Let me talk about a few key categories. Let me start with the work X folks. People with work X, it's a cakewalk. Very honestly, don't screw it up. It's it's absolutely given to you on the platter. Very simply, just talk about your experience, connect it with management. For example, let's say I've led teams of let's say 3 to 4 people, and I have learned that managing people is something which is a very important skill that is required, and I believe that an MBA can really help me with that. On top of that, I'd also want to build up a career in the field of marketing. I've been working closely with marketing teams during my cross functional stints, and I've realized that I would want to understand how is my organization or how are organizations at large creating pull in their businesses, how are customers being drawn to businesses. It's something which really makes me curious, and I would really want to learn that. Correct. So you can take up a lot of anecdotes from your existing role, existing work experience, and try and connect it with management. Don't give vague answers. I have done technology, then I want to do management, and then I would become a superhero someday. Don't do all that crap. Connect it with specific elements. Also, do not throw out examples like my manager is an MBA and therefore I also want to do an MBA. Does not make sense. Pick out incidents where you realized that you want to do an MBA. That is the most important factor. And then future, obviously you can mention that you would want to take up management roles and then senior leadership roles in the field of marketing. That is something which you can do. In the long term, in the long term, you do not need to specify as to what exactly do you want to do. Remember, the connect itself is very important. What am I doing right now and why am I going to do an MBA? That connect is the most important to develop at this point in time. Also, add in a differentiating factor. For example, I have stood out in 2 of the projects that I have done. Okay, remember, even if you are not able to establish the connect very clearly, but if you establish that you are somebody who has something unique, then also you have a very strong chance. So let's say you talk about 2 projects at work wherein you have done phenomenally well, and how did you contribute to that project? Okay, so that is something which you can talk about as a key differentiator. Remember, a USP is very important. Let me talk about people who are freshers. Okay, freshers, It's a tough thing, I understand, and I'm sure you are all bogged down. बहुत सारे freshers के मेरे पास answers अभी पड़े हुए हैं, and answers काफ़ी हद तक मैं मानता हूँ कि वेग हैं. मतलब चैट जीपीटिश भी हैं और काफ़ी वेग आंसर्स हैं. कि फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने कॉलेज फेस्ट कराया, कॉलेज फेस्ट कराने के बाद मुझे इंस्पिरेशन आया कि मैं मैनेजमेंट करना चाहता हूँ, तो अब मैं एमबीए करने आ गया. डज नॉट वर्क. तुम्हें यू हैव टू फिगर आउट दैट इट हैज़ टू बी मोर कंपेलिंग. करेक्ट. For example, it can be something like, let's say I have studied a couple of subjects in marketing management, right? Or I have done a few internships, I have done some certifications. How did you develop interest in, let's say, marketing or finance or operations? Or how do you want to develop a career in that field if you know nothing about that field? करेक्ट. तुम कैसे जस्टिफाई करोगे कि तुम मार्केटिंग करना चाहते हो या तुम कुछ भी करना चाहते हो अनलेस तुम खुद क्लियर नहीं हो. सो डू योर रिसर्च, बात करो लोगों से, अलग अलग डोमेन्स के लोगों से बात करो जो तुमने करी है. लेट्स से यू आर एन इंजीनियर, मे बी, तो हो सकता है कि तुम फ्यूचर में लेट्स से प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट रोल्स में जा सकते हो, तुम टेक कंसल्टिंग रोल्स में जा सकते हो, तुम आईटी एडमिन रोल्स में जा सकते हो. तो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ रोल्स दैट यू कैन टेक इन द फ्यूचर. Talk to people, connect with people. You can connect on LinkedIn also. If you are facing difficulties, you can connect with us. The number is flashing on your screen, and you can have a conversation with us, right, as to how can you build your answers. But very importantly, don't make it vague. Do your research. फ्रेशर को रिसर्च थोड़ा ज़्यादा करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा ज़्यादा ग्राउंड कवर करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा सा डिस्कशन ज़्यादा करना पड़ेगा. Okay, if you are still facing difficulties creating an answer, do reach us out. As alums of top B schools, we are happy to help out because a lot of us are from industries as well, right? So that is in terms of freshers. Talking about people who are from family business, do not make it look like that you've just taken that experience for experience points. Show inclusivity, show your impact, what have you done, show the mindset to scale your business, and why are you doing an MBA. You can also mention that you are doing an MBA simply because you would want to scale your business in the future, or you would want to be at an advisory role for your business while you work with a corporate, or it can be either way around. But the point is, make the answers very clear as to why do you want to do it. No flowery language, no beating around the bush. Be very clear, and do not mention that it's the money part that I'm doing it for. Okay, that's important. Financial freedom is important. It can be, let's say, a second or a third reason, but you have only 1,000 characters. You can't give second, third reason. You have to give one reason. Why are you doing an MBA? You have to give one important differentiating factor and a good story. I'm hoping that this helps. Guys, if you would want to connect with us, discuss your forms, your profile, and your candidature for FMS, feel free to drop in a comment or drop us a WhatsApp at our helpline. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm hoping this was helpful. And if in case there is anything that you would need to ask, or if there is any specific profile that we've missed out on, do let us know in the comment. How was this session? I'm hoping that this was helpful. Do make sure that you like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with all your MBA buddies. God bless. Bye-bye.